Good morning, kiddos. Miss Auda here. Today is April 14. This video is for my 6th graders. We're going to work on our vocabulary development. Let's go ahead and get started. So about 3 weeks ago, we read this passage, right? And I chose some words that I thought would be useful to add to your vocabulary bank. And about 2 weeks ago, we read this passage. And again, I chose some words that we can add to our vocabulary bank. Now, before we go over the new words, I want us to rank our knowledge of both the old words and the new words. So remember, when you rank your knowledge, you're going through 4 stages. Stage 1 is you've never seen the word before, which does not apply to us because we've seen these words already. We've read about them, right? Stage 2 is you've heard the word, but you don't quite know what it means. Stage 3 is you understand it when someone is using it in a sentence, and you understand it when you read it in a text, and you kind of know it has to do with something. Now, stage 4 is when you really know the words very well. That means you have a working definition for it, and you can use the word in a sentence independently. So now I'd like you to rank your knowledge for each of the words. How well do you know the word ceremonies? 1, 2, 3, or 4? How about the phrase rite of passage? How well do you know that phrase? 1, 2, 3, or 4? How well do you know the word global? How about the word subtle? Mature? Guidance? How well do you know the word provide? Technique? Isolation? 1, 2, 3, or 4. Remember to keep ranking. How about the word symbolize? How well do you know that? Procession? Significance? How about the word satellite? This is one of the new vocabulary words. How well do you know the new vocabulary word satellite? How about the word impact? Another new word. How about collide? Another new word. And minimize. How well do you know the word minimize? Okay. So before I go over the definition for the 4 new words, I want us to review our old vocabulary words. So what word goes with ritual, religious, formal tradition, wedding, or funeral? If you said ceremonies, you are correct. What word goes with ceremony? Change in status, growing up. If you said rite of passage, you are correct. What word goes with worldwide, universal, all around the world? If you said global, you are correct. What word goes with slightly, quietly, not obvious? If you said subtle, you are correct. What word goes with to develop, to grow up, to become an adult? If you said mature, you are correct. What word goes with help, advice, direction? If you said guidance, you are correct. What word goes with give, offer, supply? If you said provide, you are correct. What word goes with method, a way, procedure? If you said technique, you are correct. What word goes with alone, separated from the others, secluded? If you said isolation, you are correct. What word goes with change, evolve, shift, switch? If you said transition, you are correct. What word goes with represent, meaning, signify? If you said symbolize, you are correct. Which word goes with march, group of people moving forward, parade? If you said procession, you are correct. What word goes with meaningful, important, value? If you said significance, you are correct. Now, here we are going to start learning about our four new vocabulary words. Definitions are heavenly body that revolves around a planet, a man-made object that is sent into space to orbit a planet or other heavenly body, a subgroup of an organization. All these definition goes with the word satellite. So if you notice, this is a man-made object that was sent into space and it's orbiting the planet. Orbiting means it's going around the planet. Here is the picture of the Earth and the moon as its satellite because the moon orbits the Earth. It goes around it. Here's an example of an organization that is a satellite. That means it's a subgroup. It's a smaller division, smaller part of a bigger group. So USC is actually in LA, but they have a satellite class out in Orange County, very far away, further away from LA, because they want to be able to provide education to people who are in Orange County. And they want to provide education for people in LA. So a satellite is just that. It's connected to the main organization, but it's a subgroup of it. The word crash into something, come into conflict with somebody, the definitions, crash into something or come into conflict with somebody has to do with the word collide. So if you crash into something or that you're having a disagreement with someone, your ideas are colliding, we say that colliding. Or if you run into something, we say you collided with something. So these definitions go with the word collide. You can physically collide or you could have an idea collide. The definitions action of hitting or having a strong effect has to do with the word impact. Okay, so you can have have a really strong impact on a ball. If you swing really, really hard, your impact could be very strong. Now, your impact can be said to also be a positive or a negative impact, right? Having a strong effect. You could have a positive impact by making sure you take care of the earth, or you could have a negative impact by leaving your waste behind, having a negative effect. Okay? Now, the definitions reduce something or to make something smaller or to lessen something all have to do with the word minimize. Okay? If you're making something smaller, like from a bigger to a size smaller, we say, oh, you minimize that. To lessen or to reduce your impact, you can minimize it by trying to buy things that are helpful to the environment. Remember, you can minimize your risk of getting sick if you wash your hands. You lessen your risk. You reduce your risk of getting sick. You lessen your impact on the environment if you're buying products that are environmentally friendly. Okay. So last time I asked you to answer some questions using the vocabulary words. Well, this week I'm going to ask you to do the same thing. Go ahead and get a piece of paper and a pen and write your answers to these questions. What impact can you make in your community? Think about that. Describe what would happen if you collided into another person. What is your neighborhood doing to minimize the impact of the coronavirus, COVID-19? What satellite or heavenly body does the earth have? Okay, So write your answers on on a separate sheet of paper. Share your answers with your family. I challenge you to use these words throughout the day. I challenge you to see how often you can use these words throughout the days, throughout the weeks. Um, I really want these words to be added to your vocabulary. Satellite, impact, collide, and minimize. And also, previous vocabulary, right? You can rewatch this video. You can also rewatch the previous vocabulary videos that we've uploaded and we've reviewed. So that way you have a fresher understanding of these words. So I hope you learned something new. Hope to see you all soon. And goodbye and good luck.